You are listening to probably the old man of veterinary science, because I qualified in the mid-60s, and the changes I have seen are enormous. But one of the ones that is so prevalent in winter now, where it never used to be, the flea. The problem has been that to the flea, winter is the enemy. It's the natural thing that controls fleas, because they don't breed if the temperature is below 55. Of course, not many houses now with central heating and fitted carpets, etc., does the temperature fall any lower than that. So we see fleas all round, all year round. However, definitely in summer, the fleas start breeding in more, greater numbers, and that builds up till November time, when again we get the frosts, and the temperature does to some extent control them, because they're not breeding outside, but indoors they breed all the year round. So in answer to your question, yes, definitely we see more fleas in summer, and that is a problem. And it's not just the fact that the flea is on the animal. So many animals can be allergic to the flea bite and scratch and bite themselves, and that can be a tremendous problem. Also, it's interesting that they carry other diseases or other insects, such as the tapeworm.
Right, and then how would you know whether your cat or dog has a tapeworm infestation?
Now, you'll have to forgive me, because whenever I'm asked about tapeworm, I always say, do you believe in miracles? Because the life cycle of the tapeworm is absolutely fascinating. Inside the dog or the cat is the head of the tapeworm, and that produces little segments which are joined together, hence the expression tapeworm, because it looks like a measuring tape. These are passed out, and on your animal's bottom, or where it's been sitting, or on the feces, you will see little segments, and these are like rice grains, and so you can tell whether they have tapeworm by observation. The life cycle then is that these little segments dry up, they shrivel up, release the eggs, and the eggs sit where they're dropped in the soil or around the house. But in the soil, of course, they're outside, and then in a common tapeworm, if the dog and the cat, they're eaten by either flea larvae or rodents, rabbits, etc. And when the dog or the cat catches a rodent or eats raw meat from rabbits, then it goes into their intestine, burrows across as a cyst, and sits in the rodent's muscle tissue. When the dog or the cat catches it, eats it, digests it, releases that cyst into the dog or the cat's intestine, and that forms the head of the tapeworm. Now, if that's not a miracle, I don't know what is.
That sounds quite disgusting. So then you can have more than one, obviously, tapeworm then.
The tapeworm is an intelligent creature, and somehow, two things. It has a chemical which stops its body being dissolved, because of course if a dog or a cat ate meat, it would dissolve it, digest it, and utilise it. But the the tapeworm isn't dissolved. It produces a chemical like that, but it also produces a chemical which prevents other tapeworms forming as well.
Wow. Gosh, what a clever thing. So then how do you get rid of it?
With treatment of usually a tablet, although you can get drops which can be put on the neck. But basically it's chemically put to the animal, and that will kill the tapeworm, yes.
So the case is then that if your animal has fleas, then it quite probably has the tapeworm as well.
One of the statements on most flea products is that the advantage of treating your animal for fleas is not just to get rid of the fleas, but to prevent tapeworms, yes.
And would you be seeing any symptoms in your animal, some weight loss or lack of condition of coat or anything like that would indicate?
Under modern circumstances, the animal would have to be probably poorly fed, ill as well, to actually get, as you say, a secondary factor like that. Most animals might look a bit slimmer, But that, as I say, might do them a lot of good. But not that we advocate slimming via tapeworm.